Hey everyone, welcome to PHENOMSOUND. Today we are going to cook another MODUS type lead for your melodic drum and bass drop, and here's the demo that I've prepared for you guys. This is a FL Studio project. All of the Serum presets and samples from it are available on my Patreon page. There is a huge library of content from all of my previous tutorials, so if you join my Patreon, you will get a crazy amount of stuff that's going to help you in your music production journey. So don't hesitate. Check the link in the description. I will be really happy to see you there. Also, I have 2 6 Serum preset packs. The one of them is available with a 30% discount. Also, make sure to check all of the previews. The links are below. Also, I have some in-depth mixing and mastering tutorials available for my YouTube members. Hit the join button below, join the Dubstep Guru membership. I know I'm not making dubstep this much these days, but I have both drum and bass and dubstep mixing tutorials there, so you'll find a lot of useful information there, so make sure to hit join button below. Yeah, you might think that, yo, it's a simple wave lead, what's special about it, but we are going to find out a couple of useful tricks that's going to help you to make this lead sound more interesting and more professional. So this sound consists of a couple of layers, and those are the main ones. And there is the sub bass. There is the main bass, which contains most of the mid-frequency information. That's somewhere around 200 Hz. And there's the additional one, really high-pitched one. And those have different melodies, which makes it sound really melodic and harmonic. Okay, let's get to it. First, let's start from scratch. And this sound is based on the basic shapes on both oscillators. Select the square wave on the first one and the saw wave on the second one. Set the semitone at 7 on the first oscillator and the octave to -2 on the second one. Let's disable the post-processing because it affects the sound quite intensively. That's it. Let's enable the sync on the first oscillator and set it to 1.38. Move the both levels all the way up. Enable the sub. Select the saw wave and set the octave to -2. Move the level all the way up. And enable the noise. It's going to be the white one, ARP white. Move the pitch up as well as the level. Let's get to the FXs tab and enable the hyperdimension. Let's set all the 3 knobs at around 13%. Enable the distortion. Make sure it's the tube one and move the drive all the way up. Also, we are going to use flanger and phaser. With the mix set at around 45 on both. Let's also enable the compressor. Enable the multiband compression and set again at around 12.5 decibel. Set a high frequency compression at 75, mids 115, and enable the filter. Select the flanger HL6 positive. Set a cutoff at 456, resonance at 37, and the drive all the way up. There is one issue in Serum with this kind of sounds, and you guys ask me about it very frequently. This sound sounds different every time you hit the same note. You can hear that this can mess the whole drop and the whole melody, especially in this type of lead when you want a consistent sounding all the time. So to avoid it, make sure to set the random phase knobs all the way down on both oscillators. And find a perfect position in using these phase knobs. Those can change a lot because it's a starting point of the wavetable, and this starting point can affect the phasing of these sounds, of these oscillators. You can pick the crispiest position, the one that you like the most. I like this one, 110. Yeah, so everything around 100 sounds quite crispy enough. Also, I like enabling the legato. And now if we hit the same note, it sounds exactly the same every time. And this is the issue that a lot of us are facing while sound designing in Serum. So hopefully this helps. And let's get to the post-processing. I'm using the OTT. Boosting up the mid frequencies and setting the downwards compression at 12. Then I'm adding the vibrato. Really important to make it more organic, more alive, and more melodic. This adds a bit more emotions to the song instantly. So keep in mind adding vibrato to your sounds. And EQing. I'm cutting the sub bass to add another one later on, and picking up the 180 Hz frequency. To have this mid bass emphasis. Adding another OTT to make it more saturated, more warm. Setting the low frequencies and the mid frequencies at 2 o'clock and reducing the heights a bit. Then I'm adding the stereo imager, making everything below 1K mono and the high frequencies a bit more stereo. Then I'm EQing, removing some of the high frequencies a bit and limiting it using boost with the boost knob set all the way up. Then I'm sidechaining it, and on my sidechain channel I have another OTT and boost. And another OTT on my master. Really subtle. So at the end it sounds super compressed, super saturated, and really pleasant to ears, I think. And here I have this kind of melody. Nice. Then goes another layer, which is really super simple as well. I'm using the same basic shapes, only saw waves this time. Setting the octave at -1 on the first one and -2 on the second. I'm also removing the random phase on both and setting the phase on the second one at around 90 degrees. Then I'm also using the ARP white noise, setting the pitch at 75 and the level all the way up. It's nice and noisy. Let's add some hyperdimension, distortion. Use pretty much the same settings for the phaser, flanger and the compressor. Multiband 12.5 decibel, 75 high frequency compression and 115 mids. And add a filter. This time is going to be the flanger minus. Set a cutoff at 130. Resonance at 60. And drive all the way up. And here I'm using a bit different melody, which sounds like this. And the post-processing is looking like this. This is a dry lead, nothing too interesting. I'm EQing it, adding some reverb, another EQ, removing the high frequencies. And there is a couple of ways of making it a bit more loose, if you wish, more granularized. I'm using ring modulator, and most of the times it's either the MELODIC Productions one, which works fine. If we set the depth at around 50, we are getting this effect that we desire. It sounds very sharp, rough and kind of distorted. Though we have no distortion and no clipping, the gain remains the same, but we are having this nice choppy sound. Find the perfect tonality using this frequency knob and the depth to control the amount of this sharpness. So you can still hear the actual tonality of the lead. And had this nice ring modulating effect. Also, in this case, I've used the FL Studio's ring modulator. Which does pretty much the same thing. If you want a bit more movement, you can add the vibrato a bit and some tremolo. To make it even more wobbly. And final touch, I am adding the Soothe 2, which is removing the resonances. And in this lead, those are really nasty. Really sharp. You can get really interesting effects if you use very extreme settings. So it's a very nice plugin to play with. I'm removing a bit of the sharpness, and there you go. And together with the sub bass. So these two harmonic sounds work together very well, because if we disable one of those, we will get this. Quite okay, but still lacking some harmonics. I really love this type of drum and bass so much, and hope this sound will help you to make a sick melodic drum and bass drop. If you like it too, hit like, leave a comment and subscribe to PHENOMSOUND. Do not miss out my upcoming sound design tutorials. Huge thanks for watching this video and see you in my next one. Bye!